What is World Rejector? World Rejector is the right hand of Kamisato Kakeru, a character that first appears in Volume 13 in New Testament. World Rejector allows Kamisato Kakeru to send anything he wants to another world. Origins of World Rejector. World Rejector came about in Kamisato Kakeru's right hand at the start of December, around the time Kamijo Toma saved Atanas. Due to Toma only focusing on Atanas, he accidentally planted seeds of doubt within the magic side, which the magic side started to doubt Toma, and the hope that the magic side had for Toma started to leak out, and it formed World Rejector. Activation of World Rejector. Unlike Imagine Breaker, World Rejector has conditions with its activation, which the user has to place his shadow or hand on the target and say the words of "Do you wish for a new world?" World Rejector also needs a special requirement to be used, which in the user has to focus on a single path or option, or the second, the person using it has to be grasping for a third option that doesn't exist. For example, Misaka has to choose to save the sisters or herself, but she decides to grasp for a third option to save them both that doesn't exist. There is an exception, however. During Volume 14, it's mentioned by Kamisato himself that his negative emotions towards the magic gods, for what they did to him and his faction, overshadowed his indecisiveness and hesitation when he first got World Rejector, which allowed World Rejector to be used by him. Weakness. A massive weakness of World Rejector is its conditions to activate. Anyone can use World Rejector as long as they have a method of attaching it to the right hand. But its weakness is its activation conditions. For World Rejector to be used by someone, the user has to have a single path or grasping for a third option that doesn't exist. But if the user doesn't meet these conditions, the user will also be taken to the other world after its activation alongside the target. This is shown when Kamisato tried to use it during Volume 16 of New Testament when saving his faction. When he used it, World Rejector sent both his target and himself to the other world. Ending. World Rejector is quite similar to Imagine Breaker but very different in a lot of ways. It appeared only recently, so we don't know much, but it seems to be a very different kind of power compared to Imagine Breaker.